who actually now, unfortunately, the DA dropped the charges, right?
It was a DA reject,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So they're not looking to file on the behalf or later on down the line due to it being what was the actual charge, if any, if they were going to charge you with?
Murder.
Okay. So with that being said, do you feel that they can bring up the charges again, or later on down the line? Is that some of your fear? What is your fear right now? What are you fearing?
Absolutely not at all. I have no fear at all. She did this to herself. There was just way too much of a paper trail. I tried for over a year and a half to get help from the department. And, unfortunately, a lot of the things that she was doing, there was no proof, no video surveillance of her doing it. But it's like, just because we can't prove that she's doing it doesn't mean she's not doing it. And, not only on social media was she, going hard at me. She was inboxing people, telling people how she was trying to catch me outside my house. And, on another incident, she followed me to a store by my house and tried to jump in my car with me and my children. But, I saw her coming towards me. I got in my car and I locked my door so she couldn't get to me. But it was just a lot that I dealt with this girl, and not only me, he was receiving threatening messages. She was stalking him, his family, co-workers. Everybody was aware of the things that she was doing. She was plotting this all along. It was very premeditated. So I absolutely have no fear or worries about them refiling. They got it right. They could see who the aggressor was, who the problem was. It should have never come to this.
Okay. Last question, and there's so much to talk about through the years coming up as this case goes through the years, because it's not just a case in the courts, it's a case in the streets, and you are worried about obviously your safety in LA due to some people that she may be involved with. What do you want to say to them who feel like they might not listen to your side of the story, or will you be willing to sit down with the family or one day over the phone with them, explain if this, again, it'll get out today on my platform, but if there was ever a time where you can reach out to them, what would you say to them, the family who's mourning her loss, but at the same time having the trouble with understanding what exactly happened there on 104th and Avalon?
I mean, put yourself in my position. No matter who it is, we all have family, friends, and, loved ones that care about us. But if someone is doing this to you, if you are in my shoes, are you just going to just let somebody, attack you, harm you, try to kill you, or whatever the case may be, and not defend yourself? I don't think nobody would. If she had more people in her life that cared about her, that would have tried to, talk some sense into her. Because, of course, I had family and friends that wanted to retaliate, that said, let's do this, let's do that. We never went that route. And if she had more people in her life that cared about her, maybe this wouldn't have happened. She had people willing to come with her to the scene that was helping her do this stuff, and they thought it was funny and they thought it was cute. And that's the problem. When you don't have people that care about you in your circle to try to stop you or, let you know it's not worth that. You have things to live for. You have kids. Your kids need you. She knew that she was wanted by the police. She knew I filed multiple police reports. She knew that she could have possibly went to jail, but her whole thing was she didn't care about none of that. She was intent on hurting me or, whatever the case may be. And unfortunately, this is how it ended for her. So they have to, understand that, of course, that's your loved one. You're grieving your loss. But if you cared about her, you should have intervened and tried to, talk to her. It's never worth doing something like this. It should have never come to this. And, I just thank God for the people in my life. I had nothing to prove. You can call me scary. You can call me a snitch. You can call me all these things over social media. But I have nothing to prove to you. I have children to live for. I care about, what I have going on in my life. I don't need to prove to you that I'm not afraid of you or scared of you. And, I don't need to meet up with you and fight and line it up and all this stuff she wanted to do. That was never, I didn't care about any of that, but that's what she wanted to do. And her friends, who was a party to this, they enjoyed it and they failed her. So they should think about that instead of retaliation. I never did anything to this girl. It was so many times, I took so much from her over the course of a year and a half, and I just kept taking it. And I tried to do things the right way. I tried to handle it the right way. I made multiple reports. I tried to get help. And this is what she chose. And the only thing I feel bad about is her children who don't have a mother now. That's the only thing that's on my conscience and, that affects me is that, these little girls don't have a mother anymore because of the decisions that she made. But when it comes down to it, it was my life or her life, and I'm going to always choose me first because my children need me. And I wish she would have thought the same way.
Do you feel, you're obviously religious, do you feel that this has tainted your soul a little bit?
It has affected my life, and it for the rest of my life. I'll never get over this. It was a life changing experience for me. Like, whoever wants to take somebody's life, you never want to do that for no reason at all. But in a situation where it's your life or their life, of course you're going to choose your life. And I think that's with anybody, regardless of who it is. You're not going to just let somebody just kill you. No, if you have to defend yourself, that's what you have to do.
Okay. Well, this is the young lady involved in the incident there on 26th of July, there on 104th in Avalon, going there forgotten for, like she say, anybody who, loses their life. And unfortunately, we will eventually hear both sides of the story to try to get you guys to one day, because the healing process starts now, but then the trust aspect of going back to LA or being in LA has to be established with this young lady. She followed her heart, she followed her soul, she took care of her kids, as well as survived a life and death situation that a lot of men haven't even been privileged to even survive that. So as it pertains to women, I just hope that you know God gives you guys closure in your families as you're forever connected in obviously a tragic situation, and that we pray that her side of the family can listen to your words in sincerity like I just heard, and hope to God can heal and going forward that it doesn't affect all of you guys as kids. So being a man looking at it, I've sort of like, I wish the brother could have stepped up a little bit more, but that's what most men think in their head coming from the man side. But then he can only do so much. I get all that, but then to speak from a man's point of view, we been in those type of relationships where we ready to move on. Brothers, if you still unsure and you don't know that these situations do occur, listen to this woman here. She letting us know that, hey, just because we moving on don't mean the ex gonna move on. You know what I'm saying? And if we ever dealt with a situation where our new woman comes to us, our fiance, and she tells us that she's being harassed by our ex-woman or ex-wife, please take heed to this story, brothers. Get on it so she ain't got to be, raising, her basically weapons and fighting against all this, not by herself, but just get on it so it don't happen and help her out. And I'm not saying that's what happened in your case, but I'm just giving the brothers a warning. So we all learning from your story, sister. And God bless you. I'll definitely be doing a follow up with you this week here on Inglewood Times Crime Report LA. I'm a million hits, and for the Gone and Never Forgotten, this is your news for your community. Peace.